Guys, what is going on? Blossom back. Welcome back to another episode of Sound Drives. Again, another episode of what can you get from that pack. We are indeed returning to Niklas collection. Now, if you remember, the first time Niklas collection came around, well, it was one of the worst collections we've ever had. So the question today is Niklas 2 going to be an improvement from Niklas 1, or is it going to be an even more insufferable collection of cars? Well, that is exactly what we're going to find out today. Also, just a nice little hint, I will be opening the Niklas collection Carbon Fiber Elite 5 carbon fibers because I want to change my luck around to see if this will give me a chance. Also 30,025 slots, so that's also looking pretty good. But overall, that might give you a hint on what I think about the pack if I'm willing to go and spend 6,000 gold on it, right? Anyway, let's get into it. We've got the car is there, rightly rated, requires some criteria, requires special tag challenge, and Robin's Wonders World of plus and minus 3 RQ. We're going to begin with the Subaru Legacy STI, a card that used to be an ultra rare, then it went up to an epic, and then it went back down to an ultra rare, which also means that it is one of the few ultra rares that I do not own because I had it when it was an ultra rare the first time. When it went to an epic, I fused it all away. When it went back down to an ultra rare, I just didn't have the car anymore. So I'll be hoping to get this one, but overall, I'm going to say it requires some criteria. I don't think it's overinflated in terms of RQ. A lot of four-wheel drive, not even medium ground clearance, but just four-wheel drivetrain cars in general have been put into their correct RQ places already, and the Subaru Legacy is one of them. Handling 93, I would say it's actually pretty good for an RQ 58, and it also is medium ground clearance, also is four-wheel drive, so I guess you can say it's versatile. But the main thing about it that really shines, the four-wheel drive and the medium ground clearance, those are bonuses. They're spices. It adds on to the fact that it actually handles pretty well for a car of its niche. I think it's okay. Pretty situational use. Requires some criteria. As always, guys, with every episode in this series, I'm basing it off my personal opinion and also my personal experiences. I have to say this every time I record this video. Now, moving on to the Nissan RZ34, I'm also saying that requires some criteria. We've seen this car in the past be pretty decent on the hairpin road for Japanese cars, and a lot of fair ladies, all the Nissans in general, the GTRs and the Zs, they're all pretty decent on a hairpin, and this car is no different. It has, a little bit of a hybrid, great little picture. I love the photo. The sunset complements the color of the car, that complements the red in the ultra rare card. I think it's a very just beautiful card all around, and I think it's an okay car. I don't think it hits above its weight. I don't think it hits below its weight either, and that's the same thing that I have to say for the Lotus Evora. A lot of mid cars in this tag. I will be honest, a lot of mid cars in this pack. The Lotus Evora used to be an epic a long time ago, 4.986 compared to the Nissan's 4.884. Obviously, it did get a MRA cut, so that's one of the reasons why I went from an epic to an ultra as well. Handles pretty well. I have this car fully upgraded, 95 handling, which is not too bad. Again, I don't think it hits above its weight, but I don't think it hits below its weight either. Now, next up is the Volvo S60R rear-wheel drive. I'm going to say that this is not rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. Requires special tag challenge for sure. It handles less than the Subaru, but it has a way lower 0 to 60. You know what, though? I am thinking, should I put it with the Subaru? Because the thing about the Volvo and the Subaru, the thing about the Subaru Legacy, right, is that it handles well, but also, Subaru being Subaru, there are a million cars that are just like it. The Volvo has less of a competition pool. So once again, Subaru, we go into just ultra rare. We can go into performance tires as well. If I know where that is, performance tires and four-wheel drive. As you can see, it has the highest handling, right? The Legacy, that is, 84 handling, which is nice. And one of the reasons why I kind of want to get it, but obviously it's not going to be a better option than the Forester or the Impreza. And then we have, let's have a look at the Volvo and how it stacks up, because I am comparing two cars that personally I've never owned before. I talked about how this is based on personal experiences. Well, I don't really have a personal experience with the S60. I've never owned this car, so it might not be fair for me to put it and require a special tag challenge, or at least it might not be fair for me to rank this and the Subaru Legacy any different. I mean, looking at the stats over here, 5582, it is going to be the second best Volvo for me if I get to unpack it, better than all the other shit boxes that I have right now. So for that reason, I'm going to bump it up, because I feel like this needs to be in the same rank. These two cars, in my opinion, need to be in the same rank. So again, look at that. Very mid-pack. All right, Hyundai Santa Fe 2.5, Robin's Wonders World plus and minus 2 RQ. I don't get any use for that one. The BMW X4 is another one, though. The BMW X4 is an interesting one because it used to be an epic, it went down to an ultra rare, and you would think that, because it used to be an epic, it went down to an ultra rare, it would perform pretty well. The problem with the BMW X4 is that many BMWs went down. from the epic rarity to the ultra rare rarity. So it was all surface. So for example, this car went down, but so did this, and so did this, and so did this, and the X5 X-Drive. This is the car that you want. Out of all the BMW Ultra Rares that went down, this is the car that you want. But I wouldn't mind unpacking this one as well, because I unpacked this car a couple of times when it was an epic, never pulled it as an Ultra Rare, and I'm happy to bring it into the collection. But as you can see, 6073, it's nothing in comparison to the other three X7s and X5s over here. So I'm gonna put that in record as a special tag challenge. The Audi S3, this one's up next. I mean, again, I just think it's relatively mid. It's got a low 0 to 60. The handling is okay. It is just a slightly better version of the Volvo. I mean, all these four-wheel drive cars, like I said, they're more rightly rated now, so I can't really, you know, in the past it was very easy for me to just roast every single four-wheel drive car in existence, because every single four-wheel drive car in existence was overrated. But now I would say that a lot of four-wheel drive cars are rightly rated. So because of that, the Audi S3, another X-Epic. I mean, look at all the cars that you see here. How many of these cars used to be epic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 7 that we've seen so far. Pretty crazy. Okay, moving on. The Volvo EX30 single motor. I'm gonna put that in rightly rated. The reason for that is I know you guys know me. Okay, I don't like rear-wheel drive standard. I don't like rear-wheel drive standard unless you're the best of the best. And the Volvo EX30 is amongst the best of the best within that niche. Look at this thing on a hairpin road. Look at this thing on a twisty circuit. It does pretty damn well. And we can show you. I'll show it to you right now. So filter. Let's go into that niche. Actually, what I like about that Volvo EX30 is that it's also capable of racing against whatchamacallit, this is just BMW. It's also capable of racing against some four-wheel drive center tire cars, especially on the hairpin. So if you guys remember the i4, this used to be like the best car you could use for wet hairpin, and then obviously this came around, so this is now the best. I don't remember putting these two cars exactly together, but the 750 Li, the problem with the 750 Li, it's not a car that I think of when I think of hairpin. It's a car I think of when I think of like needing to use a road drive center car for the drags. We'll get to this one later because it's also a Niklas collection, but the EX30 is a very formidable car. I'm gonna put it in rightly rated. I don't think you need like a lot of them, but having one 323 in your garage, I would say, is pretty essential. Moving on is the Clio Williams Maxi Kit car. That's gonna be Der Kaiser. So good of an Ultra that Hutch decided to bring it up to an epic, but then they realized that, oh, wait a minute, that's a little bit of an overcorrection. I thought that it was a great Ultra Rare. I don't think it was game breaking, and I think it can stay where it is as a very good Ultra Rare. We need very good Ultra Rares anyway, right? And the Renault Clio Williams is going to be one of them. It handles very, very well. Now to the BMW 750 Li. Some people might disagree with me, but I'm going to put that under Kaiser as well. It's a fantastic dragster. It is filling what the Maybach used to be. Obviously, one of the Maybachs in the game, there are two of them, right? The Londelay, and then there's the other version. The Londelay is still an Ultra Rare, but the other one that was an Ultra Rare went up to an Epic. I mean, it was an Epic, then it went down to an Ultra Rare, then it went back up to an Epic. And then, you know, the BMW came from an Epic and it went down to an Ultra Rare. So they kind of swapped positions. And now the BMW 750 Li is my premier standard tire dragster for the Ultra Rare rarity. If I ever need to use, you know, a dragster and I can only use standard tires and it needs to be an Ultra Rare, the BMW is a fantastic option. Not a lot of players will have, you know, standard tire cars that are epic, that are also rear-wheel drive with great MR. Here's the thing, right? There's this one daily, right? There's this one daily where it's like a standard tire daily, and I think it's like 5-seaters or something like that, and there's always like a drag, okay? And the best car to use for that daily, I wish I remember what it was on the top of my head, but I'm sure you know if you're watching this video, the best car to use for that daily is a drag spec version of the 750i, which I do own. But the thing is, the reality is, not a lot of players are going to be collecting this and maxing this just for a daily. I don't think a lot of players are going to be doing that. I'm doing that, but I don't think a lot of players are going to be doing that. Because the problem with the Maybach 57S is I think it's a 4-seater, so it doesn't count in that daily, even though this would be the better car to use. So many players I've seen are actually resorting to the 750 Li because it is an Ultra and it's easier to fully upgrade. So it is many people's second choice. And you know, we are comparing this against an epic. You talk about Ultra Rares only, and I'm judging this like Ultra Rare as an Ultra Rare. It is absolutely fantastic, and also it is able to beat many. It will beat many road drive center tire epics in the drag, right? This BMW. It will beat like the 330 and the M56 and the 330i Saloon. It's just that it won't beat the best of the best in that niche. So I'm gonna put it in Der Kaiser. Moving on is the G63. I'm gonna say it requires some criteria, which is basically hill climb. And then we have the Morgan +8 Speedster. I'm going to put that in requires some criteria as well. It is a decent fast circuit car. 89 MRA, and it has a low enough 0 to 60 for it to be competitive in a few places. I think it's just shy of rightly rated, honestly. I think I could see that as a 63. I think it's just shy of rightly rated. But the Morgan Plus 8 is a pretty decent Ultra. I think it's pretty mid. The Cadillac Escalade Sport, in my opinion, is a special tag challenge kind of car. I don't think it deserves to go less than 3 RQ off. I mean, like, it could be a 50. But I don't think it needs to be a super rare. It's just that the problem with the Escalade is that, you know, there are better options to use out there. And, you know, for a niche like four-wheel drive's all-surface tires, I find myself in a very rare and peculiar position to use a car like that. I guess, like, if you need to use a drag all-surface four-wheel drive car, I will make, I would make an extra effort to go for the best of the best. Within a rarity, whether it's the G63 for the Epic or the G63 for the Ultra or the Lincoln Navicross or the Range Rover V8. So the Escalade Sport, unfortunately, and then there's the Escalade IQ, which is in the same country, same brand, same niche, besides the year range, which is just a better car in every way. So the Escalade Sport is a special tag challenge kind of car. The Azure, same thing. I think it's a special tag challenge kind of car. Not much to say about that. The Hyundai Genesis, though, that is Robin's Wonders World Puzzle Minus 3RQ. This car got a massive nerf. A massive nerf. I mean, this thing has like American handling right now, and it doesn't even have American 0 to 60. It's freaking terrible. This thing should be a super rare. The Challenger RT is a special tag challenge kind of car. The only thing that is useful with the Challenger, in my opinion, is it's medium. It's like a muscle car and it's medium. That's it. They're not all medium muscle cars. Actually, I changed my statement on that. A lot of Australian cars are medium ground clearance and they have the muscle car tag. There's not a lot of like American muscle cars with medium ground clearance, I guess. Again, very, very small niche. It's a special tag challenge kind of car for sure. The BMW TT, I'm also going to put in special tag challenge. I don't think it's like terrible, but the problem is they're like 8, okay, maybe I'm over exaggerating. I think they're genuinely like 6 Audi TTs in just the ultra rare category. I genuinely believe that there are at least 6 Audi TTs in the ultra category. I mean, we can go for a count if you really wanted. TT. Oh yeah, because Quattro has 2 T's, right? So you've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3, and then you've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I wasn't exaggerating. 9. Yeah, there are a lot. There are way too many TTs. And this one, I mean, it's nothing special about it, right? There are at least 4 TTs that are better. So yeah, special tag challenge. Subaru Impreza. Here's another one. Where do we put this one? It's slightly worse than these four-wheel drive cars, and I can't put every single four-wheel drive car in here, right, with medium ground clearance. I'm gonna bring it down. You gotta draw a line somewhere, right? You gotta draw a line somewhere. The Dodge Max Cup is a piece of shit. The Bentley Mulsanne, this one's up next. I'm gonna say a car special tag challenge. When I look at this car, I think of like Ocean City Street. No, you know what? No. Robin's Wonders World. Look, I don't think it should be a super rare. Obviously not that far. But this car went up in RQ, I think by 5 points. Because for some reason, Robin and Hutch, they think that it's like a dragster. Because a lot of dragsters, think about all those the Mercs that were Ultra that went up to Epic. For some reason, all the medium ground clearance dragsters got up in RQ by like 4 or 5 points for no reason at all. The Mulsanne, yeah, is one of those. So yeah, Robin's Wonders World. That thing should go back down to where it was before, 52. Okay, moving on to the Epics. We got a lot of crap Epics, so I'm gonna get through this pretty quickly. The Peugeot is, I don't think it's plus and minus. I don't think it's like an ultra rare. I don't think it's an outright ultra rare. But maybe like requires special tag challenge. The Audi, you know what? I'm gonna bring them both down. Okay. Now next up, the Mazda Atlantis, one of the better RQ65s you can use. Great MRA, lightweight. I'm gonna say it requires some criteria, and the criteria is if you can only use like an RQ67 or below, then this will be useful in. So yeah, it's still a decent 65 though. It's still a pretty decent 65. The Avant Quattro, I think it's a special tag challenge kind of car, but honestly speaking, we've done so many special tag challenges where I'm not even bothered to fully upgrade a car like this for a special tag. So maybe it is plus and minus, maybe it is a rank lower. The Alpine A110 Sport X, I'm going to say requires some criteria. And then we have the HSV GTS, that is going to be Robin's Wonders World. That could be an RQ65, maybe even a 64. Again, it's just there because it's seen as a dragster, I believe. The Stelvio is decent, requires some criteria. Now, the thing about the Stelvio is that we've had a lot of all-surface tire events recently, and a lot of players have this fully upgraded, but not a lot of players have the 768 version, and I do, because I had to max out for a tri-series, and it has been a pretty useful win condition for me. In all surface tire events. It's just low enough in RQ where I can actually kind of save RQ as well. And then we've got the Audi S4 Avant, but also it's not that bad where it will lose to ultra rares, right? The thing about these cars is that they might actually lose to ultra rares. The Audi S4 Avant TDI B9, this one's up next. I'm gonna put this one in special tag challenge for sure. The RS4 is also a special tag challenge kind of car. Spiker C8, oh man. I mean, this thing's a little bit of an all-rounder. It's not really a great dragster, honestly. There are better options to use out there. I'm going to put in Robin's Wonders World, honestly. The 911 GT3, just because it's slightly better handling, and it is more of like a twisty specialist. Even though it's not. It's just... It will perform better on a twisty track compared to the C8. I'm going to put down the special tag challenge category. The BMW M1, that one's up next. 4.483. It's medium. It's medium, right? If I remember correctly, it's medium. So it has that going for it. I don't think it was nerfed to low ground clearance. I think it has remained a medium ground clearance. Yes, it has. Special tag challenge. Special tag challenge. Next up, Audi e-tron special tag challenge as well. I have this car, like, you know, slightly upgraded because of a special tag challenge. The BMW, same thing. 85 handling, which is not too bad. 4-wheel drive standard. The Alpine A110 Rally. Ooh, this is good. I'm gonna put that in Der Kaiser. Okay, maybe that's a bit too much. Maybe that's overkill. Maybe rightly rated. It's Der Kaiser if you play a lot of clubs, but if you don't, yeah, I mean, most of the all-surface tire events that we've seen recently have been strictly restricted to just SUVs, and unfortunately the Alpine A110 Rally is not an SUV. That being said, if we get an all-surface tire event that isn't restricted to SUVs, this car is going to slap. Well, actually not really though, because it depends on the RQ, because if you have an all-surface tire event and it's not just SUVs, then you can use like the Pikes Peak, you can use like the legendaries, right? Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at rightly rated. It's a great car for clubs. Fantastic car for clubs. Now moving on to Porsche 911 Speedster. I'm going to say it requires some criteria. It's got a ridiculously high top speed, good MRA as well. I'm going to put that right there. This is actually my next passion project. I'm actually thinking about maxing this one next, mainly because it also has that Niklas collection tag, and I think I'm going to need it a lot. Then with the Nissan Ariya. Nissan Ariya is pretty decent. I'm going to give that requires some criteria. Lancer, also okay, 86 handling, which is 95 when you max it out. The AMG GT Roadster is a decent car. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution X, I'm going to give this rightly rated. I think that is a very good car. Obviously, it was one of the best cars you could have used before the Evo 9 went down from a legendary, but now that the Evo 9 is a legendary again, then this is a car that you probably won't be using as much. That being said, still a very useful car. Medium ground clearance, 4-wheel drive, 98 handling when you max it out. I mean, you can't complain about that. The Mercedes S63 Cabriolet, I mean, you can tell that this is wish listed alongside the GT Roadster. It is a car that I really want to understand a little bit more, right? I've not had a lot of use for the S63 Cabriolet. I've never unpacked it before. I would love to get it, but unfortunately I never had the chance to get it yet. Honestly, I can't really say if this is a car that hits above its weight or not, because I haven't really owned it, so I'm just going to put it in the mid tier. It has a very good 0 to 60, but the handling is pretty weak. Now moving on is the Diablo VT 6.0, another X legendary. It was a terrible legendary. It was an absolutely terrible legendary. Oh my god, my OCD is killing me here. Why is it? Why is it doing this? It's because I didn't crop it properly, is it? Yeah, the Diablo used to be another X legendary. Now that it's an epic and it's easier to fully upgrade, people can unlock its full potential a little bit more, and people are seeing a little bit more, I guess, positive results from the car. I'm going to put it in requires some criteria. The BMW 740D, this one's next. I'm also going to put it within the mid. Like I said, this is, in my opinion, I feel like this is a very mid pack. Most of the cars are falling in between the requires some criteria category. The Salient S1, Der Kaiser, fantastic, right? So a lot of these epics, honestly, I'm quite interested in unpacking. I wouldn't mind getting like a Lancer, any of the Mercs for sure, the BMW, the Lambo, that used to be a legend, so I wouldn't mind getting that. The Salient is a fantastic one, of course, with the McLaren, right? The McLaren, this one is going to be De Kaiser as well. It is amazing. Anytime there's like a European New Wave or Grand Tour, whatever, you know, update it came in, this is a car that's called upon time and time and time again. I could have won many Tri-Series and prize cars if I just had this car. I think Christmas collection, this was a very, very, very useful car. Never had the chance to get one of the better epics in the game for sure. Then we move on to the legendaries. Now, the thing about the legendaries that I find quite sad is that in the past, when it comes to special tag challenges, the legendaries were always like the highlight, right? Usually they would give you really bad ultra rares, really bad epic, but then you get really good, you know, legendaries. But for Niklas, they just decided not to do that. There are actually a lot of crap legendaries here. So there are a lot of special tag legendaries here. The Lamborghinis, right, that start us off. The Ariel as well, although useful for the new player, I don't think it would be that great for someone more advanced when they have better options to use, right? There are even better aerials to use as well. Granted, you know, one of them is a prize car. So let's talk about the other ones. The Jetta G55 and the Mazda 717. At most, I'm going to give these guys kind of like require some criteria kind of category. I'm going to put the Gallardo in the same place as well, just because it's slightly a little better. And then, you know what? The Supercharged, I'm going to bring it up one. I'll bring it up one. But then again, no legendary that has wowed me so far. Usually, you know, in these kind of special tag challengers, there's always like at least 4 or 5 legendaries that absolutely wow me, that I want to put at the top. Unfortunately for this one, there's only 2 that I'm really putting at the top. It's going to be the Hyundai as well as the Urus S. These 2 are fantastic. As for the TZ3 Corsa and the Technica, at most, I think they're going to be rightly rated. So overall, this is going to be my conclusion of Niklas collection. We are going to open that pack. But overall, I think that Niklas collection this year is better than the version we had last year. Most of the cards here, in my opinion, are relatively mid, and I'm very excited to unpack some of the ultra rares, because there are many ultra rares here that actually used to be epics, right? Many legacy cars, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to be opening that 5 times carbon fiber today. I want to get myself some legacy cars. I want to upgrade some legacy cars, some cars that I never got a chance to play with in the past, right? Cars that, you know, they were so bad as epics, I couldn't think twice about upgrading them, but now we can. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get it. Niklas collection carbon fiber elite 6,000 gold. There's no turning back. Please give me something good. I know that I just cannot get legendaries. That's fine, okay? The reason why I'm opening this pack is because they're actually ultra rares that I want. Ultra rares that used to be epic. That's what I'm looking for. So if you can get me something along that category, a legacy car that I don't own, I'm gonna call it a win, honestly. Okay, like my expectations are very, 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 very low already. I don't want a legend, and you know what? I'll be grateful if you give it an epic. Okay, I'm just looking for an ultra rare. Honestly, I'm just looking for an ultra rare. An ultra rare that used to be an epic is what I'm looking for. We're starting off pretty decently. RQ58 already, okay, for our first car. That's not bad. We've got an RQ60. To be fair, both of the cars that I've unpacked used to be epic, but I do have them. So I would like something new. Well, this was just always an ultra rare, wasn't it? Oh no, we didn't even get an ultra I wanted. We didn't even get an ultra I wanted. We got a hold an HSV. Okay. Can I get an epic I wanted though? There were a couple epics that used to be legendary. I wouldn't mind getting those. 3, 2, 1. There's so many cars that I wanted from this pack. So many cars with legacy changes and mercs and everything, and somehow that pack perfectly navigated through every car I didn't want. I mean, sorry, not through. I guess it gave me every car that I didn't want. Oh, it's a curse. It's a curse. It's just a curse. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys are great. Anyway, stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too. Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks.